So move on to the first question. Who is the person that read the Singapore's Proclamation of Independence? First section here is history. The second is universal. The third here is the ice cream museum. Fourth is a festival in Singapore called Happy Thai Busan. And finally, we're gonna talk about some facts about Changi Airport in Singapore. So move on to the first section here is history of Singapore. So in its early history, Singapore was a maritime emporium known as Temasek, and subsequently it was part of a major constituent part of several successive thalassocratic empires. Its contemporary era began in 1918 when Stafford Raffles established Singapore as a entrepot trading post of British Empire. Then in 1967, Singapore came under the direct control of British as a Straits Settlements. But then during World War II, Singapore was occupied by Japan in 1942 and returned to British control as a crown colony following Japan's surrender in 1945. Singapore then gained self-governance in 1959 and in 1963 became part of the new Federation of Malaysia alongside with Malaya, North Borneo, and Sarawak. But then ideological difference led to Singapore's expulsion from the Federation in 2 years later. Singapore became an independent sovereign country in 1965. On the day 9th of August 1965, the first Prime Minister of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, has read the Singapore's Proclamation of Independence, declared the born of the Republic of Singapore. And after some early year of turbulence, and despite lacking natural resource and hinterland, nation rapidly developed to become one of the four Asian tigers. Now, Singapore, officially the Republic of Singapore, is an island country, a city-state in Southeast Asia. It is a highly developed country with a national anthem song called Onward Singapore. In the Malay, they call it Majulah Singapura.
Hi guys, I'm in charge with the topic of Universal Studio. And let's get started with the questions that have you ever missed your inner child, the version that used to laugh out loud, dream without limits, and get excited over cartoons. To be honest, I didn't realize how much I missed that part of myself until I went to Universal Studio in Singapore, or USS for short, located on Sentosa Island. USS is the first and only Universal Studio in the Southeast of Asia. It was officially opened in 2010, and although it's smaller than its counterpart in the USA or Japan, it also offers lots of recreational experiences with 7 theme zones and many countless interactive activities. Each zone is designed to reflect a different world of adventure or imagination. And I believe that everyone will have their own feelings based on different experiences at Universal Studio. And honestly, I was attracted by the 3D battle of Transformer in Science Fiction City. And I promise that you will never regret it about the feelings there. And if you give the Universal Studio a chance, it will be really worth. And I remember that the moment when I stepped into the Science Fiction City, my heart was already racing. And when the ride began, something inside me was clicked on. It was like my inner child woke up and took over. I wasn't just a teenager at an amusement park, but I was flying through explosions, falling buildings, and the flight alongside auto robots. I remember this moment was so crazy. I loved the thrilling games like high-speed roller coaster, and when it was combined with 3D show, it became more and more fantastic and significant. I was screaming not because I was scared, but because I was completely felt overwhelmed. For a few hours, I didn't worry about how to be the best to satisfy someone's expectation. I didn't worry about achievement or responsibilities. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. And that's when I realized growing up doesn't mean letting joy far away. I mean, we need to know how to carry our inner child with us, although even if our life becomes more and more serious day by day. And for me, it's not just an amusement park, it's also a bridge connect me with my imagination, a magic door to help me go back to my childhood. And in short, Universal Studios Singapore wasn't just a place I visited, because thanks to it, I found the curious and silly kid inside me again. And thankfully, I highly recommend you to give Universal Studios Singapore an opportunity to remind you about your childhood. And that's the end of my presentation.
Hello everyone, today I'm Aston to introduce you to the ice cream museum in Singapore. This museum is about ice cream. You learn about its history, how it's made, and even get to taste some yummy flavors. The museum has fun activity and as his piece, you can learn and play. You see ice cream, tamer us and take part in head-on activity. Okay.
Hello everyone, today I will talk about the festival Thai Busan in Singapore. In Singapore, there is a special festival celebrated in the India community. It's a time to honor a god of wisdom and courage. People wear yellow or currant clothes and carry colorful objects called kavalis. Some devotees even visit their bodies with hook and skewer as a form of devotion. Their festival is full of music, dancer, and beer. People gather at temple and street to celebrate with joy and devotion. The procession is a beautiful sight to see, with people singing and dancing in the street. It's a time for people to come together and celebrate their faith. The festival shows the rich cultural heritage of the India community in Singapore.
Hello, today I will talk about the Changi Airport. So Changi Airport is a large and beautiful airport in Singapore. It has a waterfall called Rainforest, and it is 40 meters high. There also has a tropical garden which called Shiseido Forest Valley. It has more than 2,000 trees and 100,000 birds of 900 different species. In addition, it also has many other diverse gardens that you may know.
As you know, we have done the section 1 is the presentation. So now let's play a little game, shall we? Here we have prepared for you guys some question about some facts in a presentation. So there's also here total 5 section: history, universal festival, museum, ice cream, and finally Changi Airport. So move first on the first section about history of Singapore. So my name is Miles, has prepared for you guys some question here. So there's total 4 questions I prepared, but because the time is running out, so I only ask you 2 questions that I think is very difficult.
For the questions that related to Universal Studios, how many theme zones are there in Universal Studios Singapore, and list it out?
Rồi, how many themes are there in the USA and list it out?